Hi, my dear students. Good afternoon. Welcome to the online video class session of sociology. So, my dear students, I am heartily welcoming you all to the second semester. So, in our first semester, we will study about the fundamentals of sociology, the basic fundamentals of sociology. So, in the fundamentals of sociology, we learn something about what is sociology, what are the basic concepts of sociology, hmm, and who are the sociological thinkers. So, like that, we have studied about something about the fundamentals of sociology. In the second semester, as per the Shatava University curriculum framework, the second paper is titled as The Indian Society Structure and Change. The second paper exclusively deals about the Indian society structure and change. So in the part of that, we have again 5 units. So before going to detail about the entire syllabus, so I was prepared a PPT for your convenience. So please listen carefully and watch carefully the PPT. So I'll share PPT for your convenience. So my dear students, so this is the PPT I was prepared for your convenience. So here I am the faculty of Sociology, TTWRDC Karimnagar. So the entire semester we will learn something about the Indian society and structure. So here how India was structurized and what are the challenges and what are the changes. So these things we need to discuss in detail about the society. So my dear students, here the entire syllabus was categorized into 5 units. So such as the first unit is exclusively deals about the perspectives on the study of Indian society. So there are various perspectives. So like ideological perspectives, structural functionalism perspectives, and subaltern perspectives, Marxist perspectives. So like that, there are various kinds of perspectives. So we will see the various kinds of perspectives in the first unit. And the second unit is, first unit is exclusively deals about the various perspectives like ideological perspective. So ideological perspective is explained by the who is Manu is the great philosopher of ancient India. So in the modern times, the textual or ideological perspective is explained by Dumont and G.S. Gure. So they are explained about the society and its perspectives. And the second is the structural functional perspective, which is explained by M.N. Srinivas and Shyam Charan Dubey. So the third perspective is the Marxist perspective. It is explained by D.P. Mukherjee and A.R. Desai. So the Ramanlal Desai. So these are the personalities who are contributed their ideas to study the sociology in their own perspectives. And finally, the Indian society also studied by some of the important personalities from subaltern perspectives. So like Phule and Ambedkar and David Hardiman. So they are studied the society in a subaltern perspective, from below perspective. So this is the first unit. And whereas the second unit is deals about the historical mooring of Indian society. So here the historical mooring of Indian society, in the part of that we will try to learn something about the traditional Hindu social organization and the Vedas of Indian society and society and ashrama dharmas like Purusharthas, ashrama dharmas. So these are the things we will learn, which is linked with the Vedic or Vedic literature. So we have also need to study about the Purusharthas. So there are various kinds of Purusharthas. So these are the things we will learn in detail about the Ashrama Dharmas and as well as Purusharthas. And the second subunit within the historical moving of the Indian society is the emergence of Buddhism. In the ancient India, the Buddhism was established by Gautama Buddha. So after Buddha, the Jainism also established by Vardhaman Mahavira. And later on, the advent of Islam in the medieval time, and at the same time, in the modern times, the European colonization has been taken place in the modern period with the invasion of the British East India Company in the 16th century. So like this, from ancient to modern, we will learn something about the emergence of Buddhism, the advent of Islam, and the European colonization. And besides this, we will also learn something about the cultural assimilation in India. So India is the place of various cultures. So India is, it has its own unity and whereas diversity. So the father of the Indian foreign policy, Jawaharlal Nehru, and the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, was written a book, The Discovery of India. So in the Discovery of India, he was clearly explained about the unity and the diversity. So India is place of the multiculturalism. We have different kinds of religions. We have different kinds of castes. We have different kinds of creeds. We have different kinds of classes. But even though we are all being as units under one umbrella as Indians. So this is the specialized character of Indian people. So that is why the unity and diversity, one of the best motto of Indian society. And the third unit is exclusively deals about the social structure, how the society is categorized into various structures. Like almost all India is the completely agrarian based society. So that is why the India is categorized into rural and agrarian social structure. And within the rural, there are various kinds of castes. Castes are there. The caste system is in India. It is the special feature of Indian society. The nowhere in the world, like India, the caste system appears. So there are different kinds of caste system in India. So there are different kinds of perspective to study the caste system in India. And besides that, there are various kinds of features of the caste system, like untouchability. So like that, we will try to learn about the various features of caste system. And in addition to that, we will also see, tries to understand or tries to study about the tribal communities. The India is the second largest country who have the tribal communities. If we take all over the world, the Africa is the first place who are having the tribal communities. But whereas in India, it has the second place after Africa. Approximately in our India, more than 800 tribal communities are living in India. If you take Andhra Pradesh or United Andhra Pradesh, we have 35 identified tribal communities in United Andhra Pradesh. So like that, there are various kinds of tribal communities. The tribal communities living settlements is different. They are far from the mainstream. They used to live in their own settlements called hamlets, gudems, tandas. So their culture is different. Their food habits is different. So like that, we will study about the tribal communities and their culture. And in another concept, we will also study the structure of India in a class form. So there are various classes in India. the society is categorized or divided into various classes like upper class, middle class, and lower class. And if we see in a town areas, the agrarian class and the industrial class. So like this, there are various classes. So how these all classes are interlinked? What are the relations between the agrarian class and the industrial class? So these things we will need to study in detail, and we will study in this chapter. And finally, we will also study about something about the social institutions. Like what are the social institutions? Like family, marriage, kinship, religion. So these are the social institutions. We will study about these social institutions. And finally, we will also try to study about the problems of religious minorities. So India is the multi-religious country. In our India, 80% of the people are belongs to Hindus, and whereas the 20% of the people are belongs to the various religions like Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jainists, and Zoroastrians. So like this, the entire other communities, other religions are only 20%, but they have facing their own problems. So what are the problems they are facing? We will try to understand in this unit. And the fourth unit is exclusively deals about the social change in India. So here, the vision of social change in India, the idea of development. So the idea of development is one of the best concepts to the contemporary societies, but it has its own demerits. Where there is a development, the displacement has been taking place at the place of development. So the displacement is taking place with the name of development. So the India has been trying to develop all the sections by planning various developmental policies, planning committees. So even though there are various kinds of deviations were there, so we will try to understand the development and displacement. And we will also try to understand the constitution, law, and social change. So here in the constitution, how the constitution is given priority to some sections like marginalized sections. So they are given some kind of upliftment in the name of reservations to get education and employment. So these are the things we will try to understand in our fourth unit, the social change. And finally, we will also try to understand the industrialization and urbanization. So India is actually the rural based and agrarian based in society. But even today, approximately 60 to 70% of the people are living in rural areas. So, but the rural people are migrating to the urbans. So day by day, the urbanization is taking place in India. So here we will try to understand the relations between the industrialization and urbanization, and how the migrations are taking place in rural areas. What are the push factors and what are the pull factors? So these are the things we will need to discuss in this chapter. And finally, we will also study about the various kinds of social movements. In our society, there are various kinds of social movements are there. For example, peasant movements. So peasants has been agitating against their policies. So they are trying to get some kind of benefits from the government, and peasants, backward classes, Dalits, women, students, various groups are doing movements for their benefits. So here we will try to understand something about the various kinds of movements like peace and movements, backward class movement, Dalit movement, and woman movement. So rest of the movement we need not to worry. We can understand by studying these four movements. And finally, in the fifth unit, we will studies about the challenges of social transformation. So here, the crisis of development, displacement, and environmental issues. So with the name of development, the displacement has been taking place. Okay, and various environmental issues are coming day by day. So nowadays, the corona pandemic is shaking the entire world. So it is a man-made virus. But even though the technology has been developing, we have touching the sky, but we are shaking the unappeared virus. So that is the situation. And we are here, we will also try to understand the rehabilitation and sustainability. So in the name of development, some kinds of displacement is taking place. So those who are habituating to displacement are those who are experiencing the displacement. So the government is trying to rehabilitate them. So what are the factors, determining factors for displacement, and what are the consequences of rehabilitation, and how they are sustaining? So these are the things we will try to understand in the fifth chapter. And in addition to this, finally, we will also try to understand various social problems. So there are various social problems are there in India since from the beginning, not only from independence. Before the independence, we have been facing various kinds of problems like casteism, poverty, violence against women, so ethnic conflicts, illiteracy, the disparities, unemployment, youth unrest, corruption. So these are the various problems in the society. So we will try to understand these problems in a detailed manner. So my dear students, here I am going to wind up the class. So once again, I am repeating that there are 5 units. In these 5 units, we will learn almost, we will cover almost all the society issues, how the society is structured, and what are the challenges facing by the society. So this is about the second semester, the Indian society structure and change. So my dear students, my humble request is to all of you, please write down the notes of syllabus. Then in our next class, we will try to study about the Indological perspective. The Indological perspective is explained by Manu, Dumont, and Gaire. So in our next class, we will try to understand a little bit about the Indological perspective. Okay, bye, take care.